So all watch lovers and enthusiasts must know the greatest brand of all time and the greatest model too. And from that, there's one very famous watch brand, Audemar Piguet, who released its revolutionary mode named Royal Oak. After releasing, Royal Oak gained quick popularity and made its place in the market. So this video is about the Audemar Piguet Royal Oak, so get a seat and be ready for the infotainment ride. Before we get into the video, let's talk about the brand Audemar Piguet. Audemar Piguet, like other premium brands, is a Swiss manufacturer of luxury mechanical watches and clocks based in Le Brasses, Switzerland. The Royal Oak wristwatch, introduced in 1972, helped the company rise to prominence in the watchmaking industry. The introduction of Royal Oak. Watchmakers Jules Louis Audemars and Edward Auguste Piguet were both watchmakers. Whereas Jules Audemars used to focus on making complicated watches, Audemar Piguet focused on sales and management, and from 1875 to 1892, they began making many complicated and unique pieces of wristwatches. They invented the first minute repeater wristwatch in 1892. For those who are unfamiliar with the term repeater, here is a definition. A repeater is a device in a mechanical watch or clock that chimes the hours and, in some cases, the minutes when a button is pressed. The minute repeater chimes the time down to the minute, using separate tones for hours, quarter hours, and minutes. As AP began to create unique watches, designers and other brands began to collaborate with them, including Tiffany and Company, Bulgari, and many others, and they began to spread internationally. They also created the first jump hour wristwatch, which points to the current hour and jumps to the next hour when the 60th minute of the current hour is up. They also invented the first skeletonized wristwatch in the 1930s and are still considered one of the best in the field of skeletonized watches today. As AP was touching all the milestones, in 1972, the Royal Oak was born. And this is the one model that defines AP history and is considered the most popular watch that AP currently manufactures. Royal Oak has a diverse range of watches, including Royal Oak Concept, Royal Oak Offshore, Millenary, Jules Audemars, Haute Joaillerie, Classique, and Code 11.59. Now let's get into all of the famous collection one by one. Millenary. In 1995, the Millenary collection was introduced. The concept behind the one-of-a-kind design was to provide the viewer with a three-dimensional representation of a standard watch movement. They are distinguished by oval cases and domed sapphire crystals. Jules Audemars. The Jules Audemars collection, named after one of the company's founders, is inspired by more traditional Audemar Piguet designs. Jules Audemars created approximately 20 very complex movements in 1875, which he later used as collateral when he and Edward Piguet founded Audemar Piguet. And in 1881, Audemar Piguet was founded on these movements. All of the watches in this collection are circular in shape, and some have complications such as a tourbillon, minute repeater, and perpetual calendar. Code 11.59. The Code 11.59 collection is the latest addition to the Audemar Piguet lineup. The crystals on all the watches in this collection feature a unique curvature which changes the way the dial appears at certain angles. All the Code 11.59 watches feature a three-piece case design with an octagonal section in the middle. Royal Oak Offshore. More than 25 years after its launch, the Offshore is a watch that has carved its own unique and somewhat unexpected position in the Audemar Piguet catalog. Today, the Swiss watchmaker offers more than 40 different offshore models ranging from a faithful re-edition of the original chronograph, made in 1993, to much more complicated versions featuring high-end complications and avant-garde materials. There were some of the famous Royal Oak watch version, and now let us see where does this oak or Royal Oak came from. Audemar Piguet chose Royal Oak, which came from the name of a series of 8 vessels. Remember that the bezel is octagonal of Britain's Royal Navy, which in turn took their name from the ancient hollowed oak tree within which the King Charles II of England had to escape the Roundheads following the Battle of Worcester in 1651. Also, at the time before the Royal Oak was introduced, there was no genre specifically dedicated to steel sports watches. Audemar Piguet took a really bold step by making a luxury watch made of steel. Keep in mind that this was an era that saw steel as a taboo material for luxury items. Upon its release, the watch was considered to be on the thinner side. The watch has seen several modifications and evolutions over the years. It even saw the launch of the Royal Oak Offshore Collection in 1993. Now let us see the design of the Royal Oak and why it became a hit case design. The standard Royal Oak is a watch that clocks in at 41 millimeters in diameter, available in other sizes too. The case features a polished finish that gives off a strong appearance to the watch. The 41 millimeter size also plays a huge factor. 8 hexagonal H-shaped screws help emulate a porthole style design for the bezel. At the back, the Royal Oak also allows for a good glance at the movement at work through a see-through sapphire crystal. Dial. It could be said that the Royal Oak style is the most unique. With the signature tapestry pattern, the dial perfectly captures the watch's geometric inclination. The pattern forms squarish motifs that use natural light to make the dial even more legible. The date window in the Royal Oak is smaller in size. Like a dual-edged sword, it is better for those who like the watch's minimalist bracelet. The Royal Oak bracelet has a solid construction that enhances its looks. The brushed texture of the bracelet gives off a strong and firm vibe. The plot links are intermediate and give the watch a jewelry sequel look, but at the same time, the timepiece retains its manly features. That being said, the overall design is simple yet unique. To sum it up, the bracelet is integrated with the case just flawlessly. Movement. The Royal Oak scores a few additional points for its 22-karat gold rotor at the back of the case. The caliber 3120 is a piece of art when it comes to watch movements. The self-winding movement operates at 3 Hz and offers a whopping power reserve of 60 hours. The rotor bearing is made of ceramic and is unlubricated. So that was the rundown on Audemar Piguet and its Royal Oak model. I hope you enjoyed the video and gained some knowledge and information from it. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you do so. You may also share this video if you so desire. We'll soon be met with yet another infotainment video. Take care of yourself and your family. Until then, adios.